All right, hello everyone. I hope you had a great holidays, and had a great new year. Hope you guys stayed safe. My name is Dana. This is Dana My Reads, if this is your first time here. With it being a new year, I have some goals to talk about. Some of them are pretty cliche, but I still want to talk about them because talking about it makes it more real, especially if it's out there for everyone to see. Maybe there will be a little bit of accountability for me to do better. So let's get started. So, first on my list, well, I guess it's not in any particular order, it's just how I wrote them down. Goal number 1 is to grow my channel. Feel like this is obvious, feel like this is something that should be on the list every single year, but like I said, saying it just makes it more real and more holding myself responsible to it. I'm not sure on an exact number yet because I am listening to a book right now. I will link a picture. It's called Atomic Habits. And one of the things the author mentions is some of the issues are not necessarily the goals, it's how you get there. And a lot of people are so focused on those goals that they don't really think about the process to get there. For example, you want to run a marathon. Well, that may be your goal, but really you should rephrase it to I want to be a runner instead of I want to run a marathon, and kind of changing up that process. I'm doing a horrible job explaining. So, yeah. I'm getting off track. This is something I'm listening to on audiobook. I'm probably gonna purchase a physical book too so I can write things down and like reread it, like find those parts easier. Know what I mean? So my goal is to grow my channel. I don't know if I really want to set a specific number of subscribers, is my point of that detour. Part of that goal is the process. So posting more often and consistently will help me achieve that goal. Part of the problem was my work schedule, which I have adjusted. So we'll see how it goes. And as I'm listening to this book about habits, I changed my schedule some for work, and then we're going to build in some new habits to achieve that goal. My second goal is better online engagement with the booktube / bookstagram, book Twitter community. Part of me is I don't want to be on my phone too much, but at the same time, that's where the engagement happens. But I feel like the engagement is an important part of growing the channel. I'm really bad at Twitter, so I won't be as great there still, I think. But Instagram, I'm on there pretty often, and I'm great at following people back, but then I just forget to look at stuff. So I'm gonna try and do a better job with that. And I don't know if I will do better as far as my Instagram posts. I sort of just post as myself, like just normal everyday stuff, and don't do any sort of fancy bookstagram stuff. You know what I mean? Like big, you know what I'm talking about. Really, really nice pictures. And it's just not me. I don't have the time for that right now. Maybe as time goes on, I'll do something like that, but I don't know. I feel like it's more reflective of who I am if I post my everyday stuff. I post pictures of my dog. Just, I don't want it to be just about books, but it's what I post all about, really. Oh, goal number 3 is kind of part of what I said in goal number 1 was to build better habits, and that is going to play a lot into my other goals. For example, my next goal is to get back into shape. Before COVID, my boyfriend and I would work out at the gym in the morning, and then we would go do martial arts at night. We did Taekwondo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But with COVID going on, it's not something we necessarily feel comfortable doing right now. It's an unnecessary risk, I feel like. And doing jiu-jitsu, you are literally up in people's faces and breathing on them when you're tugging and pulling on each other. And I'm not super worried about COVID for myself. I'm more worried about passing it on to someone who can't fight it. So we have not been going to the gym or martial arts. I miss it so much, but thanks to Dan's parents who were super generous this Christmas, we're getting a couple of home gym equipment items so we can start working out at home, which we should be able to work out regardless, but I don't know. It's very cold. I don't want to go outside. And it's just to improve our health in general. Okay, so, but yeah, I don't need to be stick thin or anything like that. I just want to be healthy. And I've lost a lot of muscle mass. I haven't weighed myself. We have a scale that tells you your muscle mass and stuff. I should really do that first before we start working out again to see how much I've lost. But I feel like I've lost a lot of muscle mass. I can really feel the atrophy. It's horrible. Another goal is to get better at reviews for books. So I totally understand that this takes time, and new booktubers are always going to be super, super awkward, and it is a process. Like, it feels so weird talking to the camera. It's just really awkward. And there are times when I see my reflection and I'll see something like a hair in the way, and I'm like, what's this? And you get distracted, and it's awkward. It's very awkward at first. I don't feel like I'm very photogenic. Every single picture I take with me and my boyfriend, I look horrible and he looks fantastic. I don't know how he does it, but he does. So it's definitely a process. It's very, I feel very vulnerable, like very exposed. And that's part of why I started doing my makeup. Not necessarily because I didn't like myself without it. I've never been a big makeup fan, but it does help a little bit, like show your face a little bit better, things like that. And don't look so pale, because I already am ghostly pale. So, and then I also found book looks on Instagram, and they look like so much fun. So that's sort of what started that process. Want to get better at doing makeup this year. I'm slowly learning. My best friend has been helping me sort of navigate it. It's still really awkward sometimes. Anyway, but I know this is just going to come with practice. You have to practice something to get better at it. And you guys are going to have to listen and look at a bunch of really awkward book reviews and before I start getting better at them. A lot. I know it's a phase that everyone has to go through. I am fine with doing my due time, but I want it to be shorter. I know a lot of the really more famous booktubers that I've watched. I've gone back and watched some of their old videos, and they were super awkward too. So it's just going to be one of those things that takes some time. I know this, but it's definitely something, like I said, if you say it out loud and you want to get better at this, this is how I'm going to do it. Hopefully that helps the process along. And then my last goal is to finish the current book that I am narrating. It is a book that was self-published by a friend. I don't want to say what book it is because if it turns out horrible and it doesn't get published, I don't want people to know what it was. But I had some computer issues last year at the beginning of COVID, like when we shut down. I was furloughed. I was going to try to work on the audiobook some. Had some computer issues, and then just learning the whole process as I'm going, which is why I wanted to do this book specifically first. I reached out to the author and asked if I could, and if she doesn't like it, no one has to know. If she does, we can go through the process of getting it out there to everyone. But I wanted to do a book that I didn't have a set time limit on, that in an ideal world I would finish stuff weekly and get stuff turned in weekly, that sort of thing. And I did not want to do that with a book that I was getting paid for and then completely flub it and not get paid, and not get paid. I'm not worried about the money. I'm doing this book for my friend for free. I would rather learn the process and spend my time learning on a book that there's no time constraint on, and before starting and publishing and venturing into that, if you get my drift. I have learned a lot during this process, like how much water to drink. Should I drink this? Should I drink tea? Oh, apple juice is really great for mouth noises and making those less noticeable. And it's just great for the whole learning process of editing and processing all of this stuff and how to do different voices, and it's been fun. The book I'm doing is longer than I should have picked for my first book to try out. It's usually recommended to do a book that's like maybe an hour to 3 hours long. That way you learn, but you don't spend forever on it. So yeah, I would like to finish that book, and then I would like to start the process of setting up a profile and website and all of this stuff and start getting other books. And I think my new plan with my new work schedule is going to help out significantly with that. I was working mid shifts, so my boyfriend's working from home, so I couldn't record in the mornings. And then by the time I got home at night, it was only a couple hours till his bedtime because he gets up super early. And while I could, usually I'm just so tired by the time I get home from work that I don't feel like doing anything. So I feel like this shift in my schedule and being able to edit and do all of that stuff before work. I won't be recording. I'll be recording on my 2 days off that I set aside specifically for recording and to spend time with my boyfriend. But I have a set time where I'm going to spend time editing and be able to get through. I feel like I will be more productive because I am not a morning person at all. I have tried. I used to get up early and at the same time every day for over a year. It did not stick. I just, no. So hopefully with this shift in schedule, I will be more productive in the morning. I will get more editing done. I will be able to push content out more consistently and hopefully build better habits. So those are some of my goals for the year. I didn't really include a lot for books and like reading wise because I'm sort of a mood reader. Like, oh, I really want to read this book, and I will literally stop whatever book I'm reading and be like, I feel like reading this book, and go pick up a different book. So I think I'm gonna give it another year and see how I do with booktube this year, and then adjust those goals accordingly. But I plan on setting more specific reading goals later on. We'll see how I do with booktube and with my reading this year. I sort of just want to read whatever I want to read. So those are my goals for this year. Let me know in the comments what your goals for this year are, whether it's book related or not. Like I said, saying it out loud, telling someone sort of makes it more real and holds a little bit more accountability for yourself. So I'm really excited to see what this year holds. Yeah, I think that's all. And speaking of goals and online engagement, go follow me on Twitter and Instagram under Dynamite Reads. And I hope you guys have a wonderful year. Thanks for sticking around, guys. I'll see you next time.